CBS News Miami.
And good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Jim Barry. Welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Here is a look at today's top stories. Be worried about this.
Well, this is something that we're going to be watching through the weekend. At this point, no, we're going to continue to watch it because there's a lot of uncertainty here. But look at all the systems. We've got 5 of them right now out in the Atlantic and the Caribbean, one that we're expecting to come off of Africa. But this is the one that is really the important one because this one could have impacts for South Florida. This weekend, no, everything will be just calm and quiet, just a few showers. So go on with your business as usual. But as we get into next week, we're going to have to really pay attention. At this point, it is now an invest, so the National Hurricane Center is watching this. It's an area of low pressure near Cancun, and this is going to take off and go to the north. However, the track is still uncertain at this point because we've got winds up here, wind shear that could cause the track to move one way or the other. Now, if there's plenty of wind shear, this will be forced to move off to the north and east toward the Florida Peninsula, so the Tampa area. That's one scenario, but we also have another scenario. If we have lighter wind shear up here in the Gulf of Mexico, stronger storm will move straight north toward the Panhandle, toward Pensacola. So at this point, too soon to know, but we do know it's going to kind of sit and spin over the weekend, and then by Monday, likely to become a tropical depression at one point, and then it gets into that very warm water out here in the Gulf. So we don't know how strong this is going to be. At this point, it doesn't look like it's going to be too intense, but this is the European model. This is the one that we usually watch that will take it up here in the bend, the Big Bend of Florida, but again, very uncertain. Don't know at this point yet, so you have to prepare as if this is going to have some pretty good impacts here. We are right now into the peak of hurricane season. The exact peak is right around September 10th, so we're in it now, and that'll continue into October. Have your plan ready to go. That's very important. Pay attention to the tropical updates. We have them with every newscast, and know your risks and be prepared. This would be a good weekend to go out and get those supplies because this is one of those tax-free weekends here for hurricane supplies in Florida. No rain out there today. It's a dry day, so we're expecting tomorrow to be a lot like today. Temperature high so far has been 91 degrees, so that's probably going to be it for today. A little bit hotter as we get into tomorrow, though, with a few scattered showers that along the coast, but they will move inland by the afternoon, both Saturday and Sunday if we get anything. Most likely those 2 days are going to be fairly dry. And then by Monday, those rain chances will go up. You see the wind switch to the south, and that'll start bringing in a lot of tropical moisture. So rain chances go way up as we're going to be tracking the tropics Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So here's your forecast. Look for highs tomorrow, 93, maybe a little bit warmer than that, with low rain chances both Friday and Saturday. So it's next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Those are the days we're going to be watching very closely. Could see some heavy rain here in South Florida.
Okay, Cindy, thank you very much. Well, a man is now in custody after leading police on a chase, one which ended on foot. Chopper 4 over the scene where you can see officials running after the alleged suspect near 17th Avenue, right off of 836 in Miami. Now, this all started following a domestic dispute, one that might have involved threats with a firearm. The suspect was eventually arrested and taken into custody. CBS News Miami's Peter Dench will have the very latest on this story tonight for us at 5. Well, it is the booking photo that has made history. Former President Donald Trump is cashing in on his mugshot after surrendering to authorities in Atlanta. Trump and 18 others charged with a criminal conspiracy to overturn Georgia's 2020 presidential election results. It is the 4th criminal indictment this year for the former president, who remains the frontrunner for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand has more for us from Washington, D.C. Natalie.
It's former President Donald Trump's 4th criminal indictment, but his first time having a...
What has taken place here is a tragedy of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong.
He arrived at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta Thursday to be booked on charges that he and 18 co-defendants schemed to reverse his 2020 election loss in Georgia.
We have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think it's very dishonest.
In an interview with Newsmax, the former president called his booking a terrible experience, but it hasn't kept him from selling mugshot merchandise on his campaign website. He also returned to X, formerly known as Twitter, for the first time since being banned in January 2021. He posted his booking photo, writing, quote, "I will never surrender our mission."
While Trump is fundraising off this latest indictment, he's also taking the Georgia charges very seriously. His legal team now includes Atlanta-based lawyer Stephen Sadow, who specializes in high-profile defense cases.
CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman has tried cases alongside Sadow.
When he speaks, believe me, you turn and listen. In terms of strategy, he is also aggressive.
Overnight, former Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark was among those who turned themselves in ahead of a deadline today. The 19 co-defendants could be arraigned as soon as next month.
And that was CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand reporting for us. Now, Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis has proposed a trial date of October 23rd, but for right now that applies to just one defendant, Kenneth Chesborough. Trump's legal team is opposed. Well, police are searching for a hit-and-run driver. This after what happened on the 7500 block of Miramar Parkway around 5 o'clock this morning. The impact of a crash caused the victim's car to roll over, but luckily they did not suffer any life-threatening injuries. Police say the car that caused the crash took off. Westbound lanes were temporarily closed while police looked into what happened. Meantime, we're getting a closer look at the man who police say triggered a SWAT situation in Miami. Investigators say Javon Al-Goudin is facing charges in at least 12 felony cases. Al-Goudin appeared in bond court this morning on 10 of them. A Miami police detective also appeared to ask the judge to set a high bond and also to request house arrest if the suspect bonded out. SWAT teams tracked him down to a Miami home along the 1400 block of Northwest 69th Terrace early Thursday morning. At first, police say Al-Goudin barricaded himself inside the home. He did eventually surrender. And in a bizarre twist, a neighbor who was not involved in the case at all opened fire, causing a police officer to shoot back. No one was hurt. And now caught on camera, a South Florida church goes up in flames with people inside, but investigators say this was no accident. CBS News Miami's Jacqueline Quinn reports from Oakland Park with the video deputies want you to see.
This is what we can see right now of the damage from the fire. Pay attention to this building frame here. Parts of it cracked here by this door, and not just this door, but the one next to it. And not too far away, people live upstairs. Now, this is why the Broward Sheriff's Office are asking people for help, because the person who did this got away.
Deputies tell us he used a paper towel and fuel to set the front door of Power Outreach Ministries church on fire. However, he didn't walk away unharmed. Flames caught a part of his leg.
He got what he should have got. More than him should have got it than the building got it.
Louis Colts, a resident who lives in the apartments above the church, wants the unidentified man brought to justice.
I was hurt. What caused him to come all the way from where he came from to come and put this place on fire?
And Pastor Warren Gale, who runs the church, is troubled by the attack, but glad it wasn't worse.
Even though he did that, I'm grateful that he's not really burnt, but it should have did something to spark something in his head to let him know this is not what you should be doing. Not to only the church, but to anybody.
Now, the damage here is estimated to be about $1,000, but really the parishioners, the people that are members of this church, they are praying that this suspected arsonist is found or that he turns himself in. In Oakland Park, I'm Jacqueline Quinn, CBS News, Miami.
Jacqueline, thank you very much. We'll have more of the Quickcast right after this. And welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. More than 2 weeks after deadly wildfires ravaged Hawaii, we're getting a clearer picture of the number of people who are missing in Maui. Now, the county of Maui has released an official list of those still unaccounted for 3 days after the FBI estimated it could be as high as 1,100. But following a strict verification procedure, 388 names are on the new list. As CBS News Miami's Ben Tracy tells us, there is hope that some people on the list may actually be alive.
Off the coast of Lahaina, Navy divers are searching a 4-mile stretch of coastline, looking for those who may have drowned as they desperately tried to flee the fire by jumping into the ocean.
They are meticulously doing the same thing in the water that we're doing on land.
Mike Pruitt is part of FEMA's search team. After more than 2 weeks, they are now combing through the last of the destroyed buildings.
Why is it taking so long to get through the entire town?
It takes inch by inch. We see the photos of those missing that people are posting. And when you see those faces, it drives our team to even get back here and get to work as quick as they can.
For the first time, police have identified a child killed in the fire, 7-year-old Tony Takafua. The family says he and his mother tried to escape the flames and were found in a burnt-out car.
We're still collecting information and reports.
Steve Merrill is the FBI's special agent in charge in Honolulu.
What is the biggest challenge you're facing?
We're finding that a lot of the information we received through nobody's fault is incomplete and sometimes ambiguous.
The FBI has been compiling the just released verified list of the 388 people still unaccounted for.
Hopefully the public will come forward, see someone on the list, maybe themselves even, and report in that they are safe and sound, or provide more information to help us find and account for those people.
And Maui County is now blaming Hawaiian Electric for starting the fire, alleging in a lawsuit that the utility acted negligently by failing to power down their electrical equipment during high winds. In response, Hawaiian Electric says it's very disappointed that Maui County chose this litigious path while the investigation is still unfolding.
Now, in its lawsuit, Maui County alleges that Hawaiian Electric's downed power lines ignited grass and dry brush in the area, and that's what started the fires. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Maui.
Thank you, Ben. Now to a safety alert. The Florida Department of Health has issued a swimming advisory for Crandon Park North and South. 2 consecutive beach water samples did not meet water quality standards because they contained too much bacteria linked to fecal pollution. Any water contact at the beaches of Crandon Park near Key Biscayne may pose an increased risk of disease and infections. Well, the peak of hurricane season is just over 2 weeks away. Beginning tomorrow, Florida's second sales tax holiday will get underway for us. The disaster preparedness sales tax holiday will exempt taxes on specific supplies. Here's a list of some of them: portable generators, $3,000 or less; tarps, $100 or less; fuel tanks and batteries, $50 or less; and lanterns and flashlights, $40 or less. Well, the launch of a joint mission between NASA and SpaceX to the International Space Station has been pushed back. The SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule Endurance was set to launch at 3:50 earlier this morning, now rescheduled for 3:27 tomorrow morning. NASA said the launch was scrubbed because of unresolved technical items. The capsule is taking 4 astronauts from 4 different agencies to the International Space Station. Well, the power of CBS 4 News and CBS News Miami stream are always at your fingertips. We're on Pluto TV, and of course, it is all free. Or find us on your favorite streaming device with the CBS News app. Then click CBS News Miami. That is today's Quickcast. I'm Jim Barry. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.